After this chapter of Tokyo Ghoul, I am a massive fan of Cookie-chan, or her actual real name, Saiko. Cookie-chan, oh my god. I'm serious. She's amazing. Just straight up amazing. I just want to take a moment to admire Cookie-chan, because she is fucking adorable. Like, her character, honestly, when it comes to Tokyo Ghoul, she is very unique. She's a shut-in. She's a freaking shut-in ghoul. Or a half-ghoul. Very, very interesting. Like, it's a really, really unique personality for this series. And I mean, we knew she was a gamer, we knew she was a shut-in, but I mean, after this episode, we get some personality. We get the introduction and characterization of Saiko, and we get to see exactly how she really is. And I'm gonna say, oh my god, she made this chapter. Clearly, Saiko supported this entire chapter. I mean, the chapter entirely was freaking amazing, but in of itself, Cookie-chan, holy shit, she's amazing. I'm just saying, okay? I know there's Toka fans, I know there's a lot of Toka fans, but I'm starting to love Saiko, because she's amazing. She's my type of character. Playing freaking a PSP, dude, she's playing a fucking PSP in this, she's like, yay! And she's like, oh my god. They're just like, that's too kawaii. I mean, and I also noticed that fan service you added to Shida. I noticed that fan service you added with Cookie-chan. I noticed that. But overall, though, this chapter of Tokyo Ghoul brings up a lot of things. It once again, another setup chapter, but a lot of hints to what we should probably expect in the upcoming chapters. So, Suzuya. I forgot to mention this last week, and thanks to a bunch of you Chibits pointing it out, I guess I should actually discuss it now. Now, what I'm about to, tell you all, technically a lot of Chibits told me last week, but I wanted to let you all know if you did not know yet. Supposedly, from what I saw some Chibits theorizing last week, is that Suzuya is clearly in this, chapter. He states, like, he is going to be in charge of the Nutcracker investigation, hunting down that ghoul. But the weird thing is like, last week, a bunch of Chibits said that maybe this ghoul, whoever the Nutcracker is the person that actually, took Suzuya's nuts from him. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And this is definitely not just there for no reason, because we know Ashita. Ashita loves foreshadowing, he loves playing with tragedy and tragic stuff going on, and this would be a definite good way to make, I'm guessing, Suzuya more important in Tokyo Ghoul. I mean, it'll allow us to actually find out more development with him and see exactly how he has matured since these past 3 years, along with finding out more information on the Nutcracker and whoever did, whatever to his, his junk, his family jewels. So, very interesting. I have to compliment all the Chibits that pointed that out last week. I will say, that's an amazing theory. But anyways, with this chapter, it's clear as day that most likely is the person that took Suzuya's nuts, because Suzuya is going to be in charge of the investigation. But it's not just that either. From this chapter, what it sets up, once again, Ashita sets this up, Ure. I've already stated my points about Ure. He's very selfish, and he honestly just wants his own gain. Like, he just wants to gain for himself. He doesn't care. He just wants to get promoted. We do know he has a slight bad backstory, but his personality, once again in this, chapter, just pops out. He is manipulating Shirazu into failing, pretty much, with Cookie-chan. That's pretty much what he's trying to set up in this chapter. In his mind, he was fucking around and messing with Shirazu and Cookie-chan and trying to mess it up to where the entire squad will fall apart. That is his entire objective. So once again, we get to see that nasty personality of Ure, and once again, it goes along with my theories I made last week. Ure will eventually probably turn into a ghoul and might eventually become a villain of the series, because he wants more power. He wants to unlock the different, levels and layers of, of his, ghoul form, as it was talked about last week. And so, with this, it's just making it more and more obvious and apparent that Ure is going to become a thorn in Kanaki's side eventually. Like, a massive thorn that is going to be a massive issue. And that right there has me puzzled. Like, I mean, is Ure going to be a villain? Is he going to be able to be redeemed? I mean, what exactly is going to happen here? A lot of questions, too. But it's not just that. One thing that also pops up with this chapter, we get some dialogue about the secret organization of the ghouls, Shu's fellow club, or the club that Kaneki personally wiped out. in the first part 1 of Tokyo Ghoul. We know what Kaneki did to that exclusive club. And to see them say, like, in this chapter that it's still around technically, it makes me believe that Shu has rejoined them. And that we're probably going to be seeing Shu once again part of that club. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. This chapter is a very, very interesting chapter because it sets up a lot of things, especially for that. Now, one thing I will say, though, is we find out a little bit more information about the contract of what these Hackles, these Quinkies, you know, had to do. For instance, as we found out a couple chapters back with Shirazu, you know, he got paid too. All the different people that got experimented on to become Half-Ghouls got paid. And Urei, in his inner monologues, he mentions that in the contract, you have permanent I guess, healthcare. Or, like, you have physical support, health support, and stuff like that. You will be supported no matter what. Even if you were to quit your CCG job and quit working for the CCG and a Ghoul investigator, you will still be supported by, like, healthcare and stuff like that because of your contract you signed. But clearly, since technically the shut-in, Cookie-chan hasn't read the contracts, because, I mean, when you force a NEET into a contract, when you offer money, pretty much, permanent wage, that's too good to read through the entire contract. So clearly not all of them read through the contract, and Urei is using this information to manipulate them, but we also find out that they're permanently supported too. But the thing was too that was really interesting is that supposedly Psycho chose to get experimented on because she wanted to have, like, her lifestyle permanently, like, as a shut-in. She wanted to, you know, have her NEET status permanently covered, or she didn't have to worry. Because what she's getting paid right now, she's fine, because she can cover everything. She can get, you know, her living expenses, she can buy her games, her anime and manga, she can buy her game system, stuff like that. So she's completely supported, and she doesn't have to worry about anything else. So it shows you her type of personality. Like, all she cares about is her own passions, like her own stuff. And I guess you can kind of consider her personality very selfish, but I don't know. We'll have to see more of her personality. I do like her, though. Really cool character. Now, another thing, too, with Toka and Renji. Renji. Clearly, he knows who Sasaki is, or, you know, Kaneki. Clearly, he does. In this chapter, after they leave the cafe and they come back eventually with more, you know, Ghoul investigators, you know, the entire squad of Sasaki, Renji sits down and looks at Kaneki and gives him that look, but then he walks up like it's nothing. Clearly, they know. Clearly, they know. Oh, actually, they probably don't know officially, but they have suspicion. Because, I mean, if Renji didn't really, really know, he wouldn't have sat down. He's probably sitting down to confirm. But, very interesting. I like that. So, clearly that face from last week showed us that Renji definitely knows. Or he thinks so. And most likely Toka does, too. If, you know, Renji acted like that, Toka definitely knows. So, I wonder how that's going to turn out. Overall, very badass fucking chapter, Tokyo Ghoul Ray. Wish it didn't take so long to get translated. Supposedly the translators had to wait like extra days just to get the raws to be able to translate it. So, very weird. I'm guessing it's because a lot of manga is on hiatus this week or on break this week. Taizai's, for instance, on break. And I've heard supposedly One Piece and Bleach are going to be on break this week. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard supposedly that's what's going to happen. But overall, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.